Think back to when you were 10. While other kids were busy scraping their knees or worrying about schoolyard games, you were likely in your living room, holding your breath. You knew the specific cadence of your father's footsteps on the stairs. It was a survival code, a way to measure just how sober or angry he was before he even entered the room. You became the peacemaker, the little therapist, the pint-sized adult in a house that felt too heavy. Adults love to label you an old soul, praising your maturity as if it were a gift. You wore those compliments like badges of honor, desperate for the validation. But looking back, nobody stopped to ask what this maturity actually cost you. Today, we're going to peel back the layers of that silence and look at how the patterns you built to survive your childhood are now defining and perhaps limiting your life as an adult. 1. Parentification, when the roles reverse. In psychology, we call this parentification. It's a complete breakdown of how a child is supposed to grow. Think of a child like a seed. They need the stable ground of emotional safety to develop. But in your home, that ground was shifted under your feet. You weren't just doing chores. You were carrying the family's emotional weight. This leads to something called blind loyalty. You learned early on that your worth wasn't tied to just being. It was tied to being useful. If you weren't fixing things, you felt like you weren't entitled to take up space. 2. The nervous system on high alert. Your brain basically got stuck in a permanent on switch. According to the polyvagal theory, your nervous system learned to treat silence as a danger zone. You developed a kind of emotional radar, reading rooms and micro-expressions in milliseconds. This is why true relaxation feels terrifying to you now. Your brain actually generates anxiety just to get your cortisol levels back up to what feels familiar. Calmness feels suspicious, almost like a trap, because in your past, quiet was usually just the calm before the next explosion. If you feel like you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop, you're not alone. Hit like and drop a comment below. What's one habit you've picked up just to keep the peace, even if it leaves you completely drained? Let's talk about it. 3. The Fortress of Solitude. That super independence you're proud of, it's not actually a strength, it's a defense mechanism. When you were little, asking for help often meant being ignored, criticized, or treated like a burden. So, your brain learned a simple formula. Asking equals disappointment. You built a fortress around yourself. In your adult relationships, this turns into enmeshment. You become the one who takes care of everyone else, the one who never needs anything, because you're terrified that if you let your guard down, you'll be let down by someone else. 4. Reparenting, coming home to yourself. Healing isn't about blaming the past. It's about reclaiming your present. You need to practice reparenting. This means giving yourself permission to be messy, to be unproductive, and to fail without the world ending. Try this. Set aside 15 minutes a day to do something completely pointless. Let your default mode network, that part of your brain that's always planning and worrying, just wander off. You aren't a problem-solving machine. You're a human being who deserves to rest. Setting a boundary isn't being mean. It's finally showing that inner child that they don't have to carry the world anymore. In short, you played the hero when you were a kid, but you don't need to be the hero for everyone else anymore. Real growth is having the courage to put down the heavy backpack you were never supposed to carry in the first place. You're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to be human. You don't have to earn your place in this world by fixing it. If this hit home for you, please subscribe to Raw Human Psychology and stick around for the rest of our series. Your support helps us keep digging into these truths together. You've been running for a long time. You really do deserve to put your feet up.